Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M44, the Tier 6 American SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Serene Coast and it's under the command of KycTogp04ep. We'll just have to call him KYC, I think, for this. Now, this is a replay from back before the Arty nerf, and you can see that the 155mm howitzer is doing 550 alpha and penetrating 39mm of armour, and of course the reload rate is so good that he's actually got 15.63 seconds per shot. Yeah, back then in the golden days when Arty really meant something, before Wargaming decided to nerf it because of all the crybabies who couldn't keep up with Arty. Well, they just need to play Arty if they want to learn how to beat Arty, not for Wargaming to nerf it. Anyway, game started and we're aiming at the enemy. I think KYC's having a look at that T-34 shield. It rounds out. Well, it fell considerably short of the aim point. I think Wargaming, RNG was playing around with him there. Going for another shot. Rounds out. That's a wipeout. Direct hit and the target's gone. So he's got his first kill of the game. Now another target's turned up. It's an AMX ELC. He's almost dialed in. Rounds out again. Now that one hit the rock. Back before they did the nerf, there was only one shell that you could actually load, and that was HE. And he's loaded 36 rounds. That's all you had back then. Okay, but lining up a shot on the Breton Panther. He had a bit of reticule bloom there just for a moment. Rounds out. Oh, he hit the AMX ELC by mistake. He meant to go for the Breton Panther, but the AMX just crossed the ridgeline at the wrong moment, and he took the round instead. But anyway, he's that's welcome. He'll quite happily take that. Rounds out on T-34. No, a little too late. Oh, can you get another shot on those two? He's going to go for the T-34-85M instead. He's on the move. Oh, he stopped suddenly. But he did get some stun out of it anyway. Yeah, that T-34 is on his last legs now, and he's just come up against an A-20. But it looks like we've got a red line, so we can't get him. So he switched over to this VK3001H, which he can hit. He's just dialing in on that spot now. Rounds out. Oh, he hit him, and he killed him. He wiped him out. Oh dear, he's got that voiceover thing from was it King Cobra or whatever the name is. Rounds out in the M10. Oh, and he claimed that one as well. That was a splash. Yes, Cobra. That was it. The one that he's got. Okay, AMX 12 ton. Stopped in that corner, but instead he's going for the T-34. Fires around in, and oh, he's claimed him as well with a splash. So he's now up to 4 kills. My gummy's doing well in this battle. Okay, we've got a bunch of enemy targets all together. And it's very difficult to miss the enemy when you get something like that. In fact, he hit 2 tanks with 1 shot, and he tracked the T1 Heavy as well. And he's going to fire another one in. Rounds out. Ooh, that hurt. He hit 3 tanks with 1 shot there. Now, if I remember correctly, the blast radius of this shell is something like 7 meters. It is. So he's really hurting them. And this time around, they're too far away from the T1 Heavy for him to actually damage anything but the T1. You know the T1 has heavy armour on the front, but not on the top. It's actually fairly lightweight. Rounds out. Well, I'm not sure when that one went. I think it hit the cliff face just in front of them. That Cavalier's in trouble. Yeah, he's gone. But the T1 Heavy is about to walk into a firestorm and rounds out. Oh, and it falls short. Oh, that did not go down so well. Okay, this is not good. Trying to go for the T1 Heavy again. And this time Randy makes good and finishes that one off. Now he's just got another T1 Heavy in the IKB-103. Now he could re-aim on the 103 because he's going after the KB1, but we're going for the T1 Heavy instead. And he hits it for 212 this time. The IKB-103 goes down to the SU-8. And that means now there's only 5 enemy tanks left, but there's only 3 left on our team, including 2 Arty. And now we're going to go for the ARL-44. Oh, he hit him! He got a direct hit on the side of an ARL, and that's bound to have damage, but he's lost sight of him. And now he's having to go for the Baguette Panther instead. He's now got 5 kills. Leading the target. Gets the hit. 132. I don't think he was leading it by enough actually to get a direct hit right on the side of the vehicle. That's why he wounded the rear of him. But he should be able to get another shot on him now. The SU-8's in dire trouble. Rounds out. That's a kill. That's the Top Gun. So now we need to know where the ARL-44 is. And he must be just around the corner. The SU-8's coming in. Oh, the SU-8's gone. And that means now there's only 2 left on our team facing 4 enemies. And KYC's got 6 kills. Just can't see where that ARL-44 is. And I suspect he's actually behind that tree. He's got 17 rounds left. He could fire a blind shot in there. He hasn't moved all battle. He's been staying in the same spot. But the enemy hasn't been trying to counter battery him. There's 3 enemy Arties, 2 M44s and an FV304. And they don't appear to be helping their team to win, because there's been no counter battery at all. Well, the KV-1's now looking for the ARL. Oh, and the ARL's turned up. He's actually done a circuit and went round the other way. And somebody's in the cap, and that must be one of the Arties, because that's all they've got other than the ARL-44. We can't hit the ARL from here. All we can do is try and get a shot on whoever's capping, and it's probably the FV304, although I'm guessing he's somewhere in the cap area. The KV-1's going to come in and have a look. It is the FV304, and that's a kill shot. So he's out the game, and now it's just the ARL-44 and the 2 M44s. And unfortunately, the ARL-44 kills the KV-1. Can we get a lead shot into this guy? We've got a rescue bloom. He fires blind, and he takes out the enemy ARL and gets a Radley Waters. Now he is relocating this time round, and I think he feels that it's absolutely necessary. And it looks like he's doing a good move, because he's actually moving over to where the ARL was. And you've got some bushes over here which you can hide behind. Plus the benefit is that if the enemy does try to come from the peninsula, you're more than likely going to see them as they're crossing the water. Instead, he's actually taking the fight to the enemy. He's actually driving to the enemy area. Well, this is very interesting. Of course, if the enemy does start capping, he's going to have to drive all the way back quickly to get a reset. But the M44 is quite good for shotgunning. It's based on the Walker Bulldog, and so it's quite fast. Back then it could do 56.3 kilometers an hour. Its view range is 265 meters, and he's got exactly the same view range as his opponents, or at least unless of course they're using coated optics, which I doubt. But they could have binos and be sitting in a bush waiting for him to turn up. But I think it's much more likely that they were using a gun lane drive and a rammer. Well, he's headed straight for the enemy cap. Or is he looking for the enemy? No, he's looking for the enemy. He's looking to finish them off with a shotgun. He's hunting them, but he's doing so using all of the terrain to his advantage, using the trees to mask his approach, and they are capping. And if we get 2 in the cap, then he's in trouble. There's the other M44. So one of them stayed behind to cover the cap. Oh, he fluffed it. Now he needs to get behind this guy. That guy's fluffed his shot, but the one in the cap will probably fire. So he needs to make sure this works. Well, the enemy at the cap fired and missed. And he finishes off the one next to him. Now he needs to get the flock out of here quick. Back to his own cap. It actually looks like the enemy at the other end reset his own cap. I think he might have moved out of the cap by accident when he was aiming in this direction, because it started again. Now he did get 1 shot at KycTogp, but that one missed. Now, what's the betting that he is going to be hiding on the far side of the cap in the little dip? And I think that what KycTogp is doing is probably the best bet. Go through the gap straight between the 2 rock faces, and then you'll appear right in the middle of the cap straight away. If you go around either the sides at either the ends, then there's a chance that the enemy will actually get a shot in on you before you're ready. So here he goes. This is to try and get a reset. Is he going to get a defender as well? I hope so. Yes, more than likely. Where are you? There you are. Oh, he wins the game and a Pools medal. Arty rules. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker for KycTogp04ep. I don't understand that name at all. I can't make out what he's trying to say with it, but we'll just call him KYC. An ace tanker in the M44. He got a counter battery. He took out all 3 enemy Arty. He took out the FV304 with an aim shot. Then he shotgunned the Arty at the other end, and then came back and shotgunned the guy who was capping. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 27 in total. A Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. A Pools medal for getting at least 10 enemy vehicles. That's 2/3 of the enemy team, and well, that's quite an incredible score. As well as a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, and finally he got a defender when he reset the cap right at the other end. Even if he'd only just wounded the M44 at the other end, he would have got the defender. More than likely though, he would have got killed by that M44 the moment the guy turned his gun to face him, but he made absolutely certain, and he got the game, and his win rate was 13,397. A very nice score indeed. Let's have a look at team score, see where he is. 2,956 hit points of damage. The next high scorer being the T3485M on the enemy team with 1,765, followed by the ARL44 with 1,305. When it came to kills, he had the highest with 10. There was 6 members of the enemy team who managed to get 2 kills apiece, and that's the T3485M, the ARL44, one of the M44s, the Baguette Panther, the AMX 12-ton, and the T1 Heavy. And when it came to base XP, yes, he got that one as well. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,480 went to, well, it's actually saying Simply Guy here. Is that his actual name? I wonder if that's his actual name. Well, I think actually, normally if you click on this, no, KycTogp04, yes, that is his actual name. He's part of the Virtual Technologies clan, but let's go back anyway. Yes, he managed to get all 3 columns. The next highest being the SU8 with 697, and then the Churchill 7 managed 670. He fired 24 rounds in that game, so he actually had 12 rounds left at the end of the game. That's quite a lot for this sort of tier of game, and also getting a Pools medal. He got 13 direct hits on the enemy, but only 2 penetrations and 23 splash. Damage of 2,956 hit points, of which 734 were at more than 300 meters, so most of the damage was actually done at fairly close range. He also received 1 hit by way of splash damage. That was from the enemy Arty that got close to him. That was the one actually who was capping, who fired all the way over from the other end of the map and actually did manage to get one close. He spotted 2 enemy vehicles, both of them Arty. 12 enemy vehicles were damaged, 10 were killed, 106 hit points of damage assistance and 403 hit points of stun assist off 13 stuns. He got a defense points of 73, which meant of course he got the Defender medal, and he earned 52,583 credits from the game, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables took away 36,832 credits profit. 2,220 XP, 8,880 for completing a mission, and 11,100 experience points altogether. That's quite a score in a Paul's medal on an M44, but mind you, this was the old Arty. This was before Wargaming decided to nerf Arty altogether, but nerfed the M44 specifically and made the M44 a shadow of its former self. Let's have a look at the armor profile for the M44. Okay, well, it looks as if there's a lot of red and a lot of heavy armor. No, that's very light armor actually. It's very, very thin armor all around. You can see 12.7 millimeters, which is nothing really, and it's the same all the way around. It's a Walker Bulldog hull, but they've skimped on all the armor that normally a Walker Bulldog would carry, so it's got virtually nothing to protect either the crew. Anywhere you hit on an M44 is going to go through, except the tracks obviously. But yes, so it's a very vulnerable Arty. Which meant, of course, that if the enemy could get a shot on you, they were going to penetrate. Let's have a look at the module profile. Well, you can see the engine is up front, because basically this is a light tank in reverse with the engine up front. It's the engine normally being at the rear of the vehicle. They've just turned the vehicle around, and where the turret would normally be, they've mounted this huge articulated howitzer, which is on a swivel mount. The engine is sandwiched between 2 fuel tanks with the transmission up front. You can see the driver is actually in the cabin at the back with the rest of the crew, and he's driving the vehicle from a very high up position on the right hand side. And this is basically the same sort of layout that they use for the M53, M55 in terms of actually putting the driver high and on the right. Now, unlike in the M53, M55, they've got only one gunner, and the tank commander's just behind him on the left-hand side. There's 2 loaders, and you can see one of them standing behind the breech one side, and one of them sitting next to these ready racks right at the back. If you want to get a big bang on the M44, you just fire into the rear of the thing, or aim for the rear from the sides, and yes, it should go off. Or you could even aim from the front for that matter to hit this thing, because of course remember the armor's very thin, it's just going to go straight through, and so hitting any of those ammo racks is going to set the thing off. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.